and welcome to my channel, You Are the One, where we talk all things law of assumption to help make your manifesting journey easier and more fun. And today we are talking about why you have a deeper connection with some people and not others. And this is in response to a question that somebody asked on my last video, are they the one? So we were talking about the one and why is it that we are attracted to some people and not others? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So stick around. My name is Hedley Derenzie. I am a qualified life coach and author specializing in the law of assumption in accordance with the wonderful teachings of Neville. It is the stories that we tell that create our reality. So if you want to change any part of your reality, then you have to start by changing the story first. And if you want to create the most amazing reality, it helps to know how to tell the most amazing stories and persist with them long enough for your reality to catch up. And that's where these teachings can really help. And that is why I am here. I want to help you to tell the most amazing stories you can possibly imagine for yourself. If you would like support with that, I do offer law of assumption coaching, and I also have a free 21-day set yourself up with the ultimate self-concept course, which is the ultimate story that you want to be telling. You'll find those details in the box below this video or at my website, youarethone.com.au. And I am also on Instagram, although I'm not really posting that much. But anyway, I'm there as well. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, today we are talking about why we feel attractions towards some people more than others. And I wanted to make this video in response to a fabulous question that one of you asked. And this question comes from AN, who wrote this question in response to my video, Are They the One? So if you haven't seen that video, Are They the One? I would suggest you go and check that out, where I talk about that question, are they the one, and that idea of looking for the one, really using the law of assumption to bring that back to what's really going on. So go and check that out. But I wanted to answer this question from AN. Thank you so much. Such a great question. I'm just going to read it out. Thanks so much for talking about this topic. My friend and I were just talking about this being the one. Can you also address why we feel a deeper connection with some people in our 3D experience than we do with others? Why does someone feel like the one and with others there is a lack of connection? Thank you. Okay, such a great question. And I thought it was very worthy of a video. So here we are. I mean, I've thought about this myself, and I'm sure some of you have as well, if not all of you have wondered, like, why do we feel a connection to some people and not to others? And I wanted to talk about this concept of opposites attract. Like, why are we attracted to certain people? And why is it that some of those attractions are stronger than others? Let's take it back to the beginning, always where I like to start. So consciousness is the one and only reality. Reality that we experience in our 3D is the reflection of what we're doing in consciousness. Now, we also have to go back to what this whole experience is all about. We are in the process of awakening to who we truly are, which is infinite consciousness. So our infinite I am nature. We are the infinite I am of our reality, conditioning it with what we do with our awareness. So we are using our I amness to condition our experience by whatever we place after I am. So if we say, I am loved, I am desired, I'm wanted, then our reality is going to reflect that back in our 3D experience. If we continue to subconsciously affirm the assumptions that we were given or inherited when we were young, where we experienced situations where we felt unloved and unwanted and unworthy, those assumptions are what's going to get projected out and reflected back in our reality. So whether we're conscious of our assumptions or not, doesn't matter, they're still going to get projected out. So we want to become the commanders of our subconscious to replace the old assumptions with new assumptions. We do that by commanding the subconscious to give us the experience that we want to have in reality. You are not set. Nothing is set. Your self-concept isn't set. If you had a shitty self-concept, you can create a new self-concept. Neither is who you are. You are infinite consciousness. You are the I am, conditioning your awareness. You are not your self-concept. So therefore, you get to create whatever you want to be. You get to tell the story. You're not the story. You'll never be the story, but the story will influence your experience of your reality. So you get to decide who you want to be or what you want your consciousness to be. We are literally like forming our consciousness. We're like Play-Doh in consciousness. We're molding ourselves into what it is that we want to experience based on what we're doing with our I amness. That's how this works. So nothing is set, nothing is real, nothing is who you are, not the favorable self-concept, not the unfavorable self-concept. It's all just made up. The whole thing's made up so that you can have the experience of being consciousness in physical form. But it's not who you are. Now, I've completely lost my train of thought with where I was going with that. Oh, that's right. Why are we attracted to some people and not others? The reason why I was going down that track is that everything is here to help you. And the reason that they're here to help you is to help you awaken to who you are, which is infinite consciousness, meaning you are everything. All creation is finished. All states of consciousness exist in the here and now. It's all here. You're all it. Like you're it. You're everything already now. Nothing is missing. You're already whole and complete. And so why we are attracted to some people is because, one, we've had amnesia. So part of the adventure is to forget who we are so that we can have the adventure of returning to who we are and finding out who we are and like overcoming our trials and tribulations and giving ourselves the false illusion that we're the heroes of our own journey, even though we always were, but we just had to forget in order to have the adventure. And so we had to set up contrast. And part of that contrast is forgetting our everythingness. And this is the beauty of this adventure, is that if you've forgotten who you are, you don't have to worry about it, because there'll be a character who will show up in front of you to reflect it back. And they do that positively and negatively, meaning they will reflect back everything, all of the colors of the rainbow, the light and the dark. So all of your characters are reflecting back your characteristics, and they are the ones that you can see, that you like in yourself, and then they are also the ones with your blind spots. Now, generally those most difficult characters are the ones that are revealing our blind spots. And this is very prevalent in intimate relationships. Intimate relationships are the kind of powerhouse for remembering who you are. And that can be really painful at times, because what we're doing is we're attracting people who will reflect back those parts of ourselves that we have completely forgotten, we have amnesia of. And the way you know that you are about to enter into this relationship is generally at the beginning, when the attraction is so intense. Now, that attraction, that is not like on a 3D level, that appears to be an attraction to the physical, where you look at that person and the attraction is like beyond anything you've ever experienced. It's beyond almost language. You can't even describe it. You can't understand it. What's actually happening is you're recognizing yourself in this person. That person is reflecting back a part of yourself that you've forgotten, that you've lost, that you have had amnesia to. And so while in the 3D you're thinking you're looking out at this person and they're they're bringing up all of these yummy, good, delicious feelings within you, and it's intense, and it's like, it feels like soul partnership and twin flamey, and like, you know, the one and only, and oh my God, I've never felt like this before, and it's just so intense. Like the love that you experienced was beyond anything else, and yet how could it turn out to be so painful and so awful, and like this person is just not what you thought they were, and they're showing up all of these qualities that is just not what you expected, and like they're being mean to you or they're being abusive, and yet the connection is so strong. How could that be? That is because they are there to remind you of a part of yourself you've forgotten. Now, a lot of those qualities are the shadow qualities. If you've completely disregarded your shadow, that person's going to come in and they are here to help you. Now, they're doing it indirectly, but they are absolutely here to help you awaken to what you've forgotten in yourself. You want to own all of the qualities that you see in them, and ideally you want to do it before you get into a relationship with them. Like when you see them using that spark, that feeling of like, oh my God, this is it. Using that to remember who you are, because what happens when we get that spark, it turns on the amnesia. We forget who we are, and then we project everything onto them, and we think they're the source of our love, and they're the most amazing thing we've ever seen, and this is so perfect, and this is so amazing, and they are the one. And why it happens with this person and not that person is because this person is reflecting back the qualities that you've forgotten in yourself, and this person isn't. This person is reflecting back other qualities, but that's just not the contrast you've set up for yourself in this 3D experience. So the reason that we are attracted to some people and not others is not because of the person. It's because of what they represent in you that you have possibly forgotten, or you're projecting onto them. Generally, when you project all of that love and all of those good feelings onto them, they are 100% there to remind you of what you've forgotten. And it is generally going to end up painful if you continue to project that onto them. What happens is, like, you're projecting all of those good feelings onto them. Guaranteed what's going to happen is they're going to reflect back the shadow, the negative side of you that you've forgotten, and it's going to be painful. So as soon as you meet someone that you feel that attraction to, that oneness for, that like, oh my God, I've never experienced anything like it, this is beyond words, ooh, you are headed down a really challenging path if you don't own yourself in that moment. As soon as you project yourself and the love onto that person as if they're the source of it, you are headed down a road that can never lead to happiness. As long as you are putting somebody on the pedestal and you are seeing them as the source of your love, you are in for a shock and you are in for pain, you are in for heartbreak, because you have forgotten who you are and they are not it. They are just reflecting you back, and they are reflecting your light and your dark, and you want to own it all, and that is why you're attracted to some people and not others. They are there to remind you of certain things that you've forgotten about yourself, and they have those qualities within them. Like if you've denied the narcissist within you, guess what? You're going to get the narcissist back in return. Like they are going to show up. So you really, as soon as you meet someone that you feel the jugglies, whatever that is, you really want to use that as a reminder to bring the awareness back to yourself and to own all of that goodness within yourself. And then whatever qualities that you see within them that are unfavorable, you want to own that too. As long as you're projecting anything onto the other person as being outside of you, you're in for a shock, you're in for heartache, you're in for pain, because that person, they are only and ever there to remind you of who you are and to reflect you back to you, both the lightness and the darkness. That is all anyone is there for in your reality. Everything's a reflection, including your characters. Your characters are reflecting back your characteristics. If you think back to your most deepest connections with people, they are often the ones that have ended the most painfully, because we weren't ready. We couldn't see ourselves in this person. We couldn't see why we were attracted to them and why we brought them in. We couldn't see that they were actually there helping us to awaken to the fact that we are everything and all states of consciousness exist within us. We weren't ready. We couldn't see it. So we just experienced these painful connections. Like the most amazing and powerful and strongest connections, certainly in my experience, the ones I have loved the most are the ones that have been the most painful, the ones that have ended in the worst ways and the most painful ways, and that or the ones that keep coming back that you just can't quite let go of, or maybe you don't really even like them, but you just can't let them go. It's not them, it's what they represent. It's the qualities in them that you haven't owned within yourself. You want to own everything that you see in another, positive, negative, because it's all you. You are everything. You're infinite consciousness. And we've forgotten that. We've set up the contrast, and then we've set up these characters to reflect it back. And that's the journey home. We're all helping each other go home. We're all helping each other walk that path back to our infinite God nature. And all of your characters, both the ones you love, the ones you wish you'd never seen before, they are all helping you bring you home. You have called them all in because you're the casting director as well as everything else in your movie. No one can show up that doesn't first exist in your consciousness. The qualities in this person cannot show up in your reality if it first doesn't exist within you. So yeah, you want to own everything. So I hope that answers your question. Please remember, you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstar of your show. You are the producer, the writer, the director, and the actor in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you, assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, and share, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.